begins now.
My mana is gone.
There are no more worthy.
What's up, guys? This is my build guide for the Wind Ripper in the Legion League 3.7. This is a more budget-friendly version of the build I've been working with lately, and it clears really fast. I really recommend it to anyone who plays this game a lot and wants to like speedily clear the game, make a lot of currency doing it. It's really fun. Um, so yeah, so here's my passive tree. You go with Deadeye. You can't go with Raider or, anything else, but I recommend Deadeye for this version of the build because you get Tailwind. You go a lot faster with Tailwind. Um, and then you get Chain. This build that I'm doing right now is built around Chain um, because it clears Legion really well. When the Legion packs are really close together, it kills them super fast because they're all already close to each other. So you get a lot of extra damage, and then Fast and Deadly helps your Blink Arrow and your overall DPS. But basically, this is a skill tree. There's going to be a POB in the description so for you guys to take a better look at it. It has the more completed version because there's still a few levels I want to get. Like I want to get this little part um, for more evasion, life, and frenzy charge once I level up a little bit more. Um, Important thing about the build that I've been testing lately um, is I've been having a lot of mana issues when you're not directly leeching, because sometimes you're shooting and it doesn't always hit. I use 2 passive points to get Mind Drinker for extra leech. You already have leech from the Lion Eyes. You already have leech from the Claw Tree. You get point 0.8, which is a lot, but the little bit extra really did help for my build and the max mana and the regen rate. I recommend trying out that. I was originally trying out these 3 nodes, but which would also work, but I wanted to spend less passive points so I can invest them in other things. Um, Another thing about this passive tree that's really important is the Line Eyes Fall. You got to get those claw modifiers. They're really good. Give you a lot of crit, and then some leech, and it's just amazing. But yeah, we're evasion and dodge based. Um, which is important for the Queen of the Forest. You want to have a lot of evasion. Um, so if you look at my evasion with no buffs or anything, I have 20,000, which is kind of low um, for compared to my other ones I've done. But I have 2 flasks that give me evasion, and plus when when I move, I get a little bit. When I blink, I get some from Tailwind. So I cap out. You need 45,000 to cap out the Queen of the Forest to get the 75% movement speed. So if I hit my 2 flasks and I blink arrow, I'm over that cap. So I'm running at max speed. I can hit a Quicksilver and run even faster. Um, so that's all good. I estimate around 20,000. You can get even a little bit less, but um, I'm planning to get these 3 nodes later on, which will make it even faster when I'm not relying on flasks. So yeah, Queen of the Forest, very important for this build. I would rate the next most important would be, well, with the Lion Ice Fall, would be the Wind Ripper. So the Wind Ripper is a great bow. If you guys don't know about it, it gives you quantity and a lot of elemental damage. Um, and the prices for it have been really weird this league. It was super cheap in the beginning, and now it's starting to rise. So it might be a little bit more difficult to get, but if it's not in your budget, you can go for a lionized glare. I used this for a while before I could purchase one. Um, it's a really good bow. It's a lot of physical damage, and the Wind Ripper is all elemental. Um, and the lionized glare can be paired with for a more budget version would be paired with the black gleam for me when I was you know, when I was finishing the game in early maps when I didn't buy the Wind Ripper yet. Um, but yeah, so then the quiver is very important as well. So I would recommend you get a Wind Ripper as fast as you can, and also possibly craft or buy a easy quiver. They're really easy to craft. Where did I dump mine? I have too many. I need to organize these. All right, so I crafted this one right after I mapped. I was essence spamming, and you look for bows have an additional arrow. That's an amazing modifier. So now, other than firing 5, tornado shot says, yeah, fire 6 arrows. You can see the 6 arrows. It's kind of easier to see if I go out. So that's a lot more damage. So I was essence spamming. Basically, I got this to roll, and then I just crafted and then corrupted because you can get a bows fire an additional arrow as an implicit as well, which was crazy. So you get 2 additional arrows. Um, so I was working with this one for a while, and it did really well. I recently crafted this one with multi-mod. Um, yeah, it's just the better version of the other one. I haven't corrupted it because I'm scared of breaking it. But I think I will gain the courage. Once I get a little more currency, I'll gain the courage and try to vol it and hopefully get a good mod implicit. It does have a decent implicit, 6 to 12 physical damage. I guess it's okay. But but yeah, bows fire an additional arrow, very important to get. Um, and what's the next part? The other stuff is all budget, basically. I would like to turn this into a Devoto's Devotion eventually. But those are pretty expensive right now, aka this is the budget build. Um, so I got a Straconia's, I got a Sedima's Touch just for the quant. Gives a little bit of damage to attacks, but it's not really too important. It's mostly about the quant. Um, I did an Exiri's Step because, you know, it has 30% movement speed, which is pretty much max. I had life evasion, which I wanted both of, and chance to dodge spell hits, which was really cool. So it was a really dodge-based build, and I enjoyed that modifier. I was also considering using a what was the other thing I was considering? I was using the onslaught boots for a while because they gave me a lot of extra evasion. Oh, but um, eventually you'll want to let me look up a gold worm. Yeah, that's what it was. I don't know why I couldn't think of the name of it. You want a gold worm eventually. Gold worm, very good for quant, obviously, because this is a magic finding since you're going super fast. Recommend that, but they're super expensive. They're over an X right now, so um, its series is like like 2 chaos maybe. For the belt, I went for a Stygian Vise because I wanted more damage, so I can put in an Abyssal Jewel. Abyssal Jewels give you a lot of damage, just majority of your damage it feels like when you add Abyssal Jewels. So see, I do 39,000 uh, with, and then we take it out, takes out about 2,000 damage, which is a decent amount. And then when you add it on to, I have uh, I have 4 Abyssal Jewels, so it's a lot of damage that adds up. It's very nice. Um, but yeah, um, you can go for Hibiscus Collar. They're gaining a lot in price. Or Hibiscus Leash, I mean. Hibiscus Leash. It's getting a lot in price. You get Rampage, which gives you damage, and it gives you increased rarity, I believe. So it's a very nice belt. Recommend that if you can afford it. For the amulet, I went for damage. This version of the build, I'm not pure MF. I went for more damage with a little bit of magic find with these two items. Um, but yeah, I was just trying to equal out my reses with my rings as well. Add damage and resistance to finish up on. You can go for a Venturer's Gamble and Abisco's Collar if you prefer more magic find, or there's many other things you can um, go instead of. Look at my build guide. Um, I posted probably in the description down below, so don't take a check that out, guys. Anything else I wanted to talk about that's important? Um, oh, skill gems, of course. So the tornado shot is linked up with greater multiple, of course, is most important. Uh, Elemental damage, I would say third most important. Um, so I prefer Mirage Archer, but when you're leveling, do Added Cold. It's a lot better. You can get an easy 4 link when you're leveling. Um, Mirage Archer add once you're mapping. Um, and for mapping easy maps, I would recommend Chain. Switch Chain and Added Cold. These two I switch a lot because I can't get a 6 link yet. Um, but yeah, as I said earlier, this build has based around Chain, and the added Chain support of course helps because it's +2, and then you have 1 from Ricochet, so you have 3. So when you hit an enemy with the arrow, it splits out and hits multiple other enemies. It's amazing. It's amazing for the Legion mechanic. You guys could see that earlier in the video when I was doing a few clears. Um, but yeah, uh, I forgot to mention the best in slot, a Rigwald's Quill. It's about like 8-9 exalt last I saw, I think. Probably way more than that now. Um, it's super popular. It makes it so your projectiles fork, which is really good. Um, and yeah, that would be that's a whole different build in itself. Mine's based around chain, but if you manage to get a Rigwald's, probably change up the ascendancy a little bit. Maybe add endless munition to get that extra projectile, so you're forking other than chaining. But yeah, this is the budget version of the build. And yeah, so that's for Tornado Shot. Use Blood Rage. Blood Rage isn't mapped with anything. I have a lot of leveling gems in my build because I'm trying to make a little bit of currency. This one just maxed out, so I'm probably going to quant it, re-level it, try to sell it, you know. Phase Run. I love Phase Run. Give you a lot of extra speed. Added increased duration so you can run even faster. And make sure you have that duration with the Vol skills because that actually affects them and it makes it last a little longer. For Blink Arrow, most important is faster attacks. Um, the other things I just have more leveling gems, but you could add faster projectiles if you want that, but I feel like it's not necessary, but you can if you want to. Um, Cast when damage taken, Immortal Call, very standard. I added increased duration so your Morning Call is a little bit longer, and then the Summon Lightning Golem so it will summon your Lightning Golem for you so you don't have to recast it. Pretty simple stuff. If you guys have any questions, make sure you ask in the comments below or ask on the forum. I can help you guys out with that if you don't understand what's happening. Um, Here's a Curse on Hit support with Herald of Ice. So how Curse on Hit works with Herald of Ice is it's when the pops happen um and inflicts the curse. It's not when the damage directly taken. When you kill the enemy and it pops, it inflicts the curse. So it's really good because we're a map clearing build, and since we're popping pretty much everything, um, you get those power charges really quick from the Assassin's Mark, which helps your crit go through the roof, which is awesome. And then added Onslaught because I've seen a lot of people use that. I believe it adds Onslaught. I don't know, and but yeah, I need to look more into that. But I've seen everyone add Onslaught, but I haven't really been paying much attention. I should pay more attention to my my passives. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If I missed anything, it's in the build guide, so make sure you take a look at the build guide. And I hope this helped you out. Thank you.